It's just the HSV madness effect. This effect just has this kind of content. I'm not even doing any feedback or anything. It's like literally just putting the video through this one effect. It's a cool effect. It's probably the coolest one on here. Yeah, no, it's great. Whatever the hell it's doing to my eyes is awesome. How's it going, everyone? You guys hear me all right? Pretty sure my audio is on, so... Cool. Well, welcome to the stream. I got some interesting shit going on today, but first we're gonna start off. I think this is gonna be like... Hey, awesome. I think this is gonna be the new thing that I do. Start of streams. I'm gonna check out all the new presets that people have been uploading to the synth. So we're gonna get this one right here. We got, this is neat. This is Hyperflux, yeah. There's maybe like 3 or 4 Hyperflux patches that are uploaded. This is cool. Yeah, I haven't really had a chance to check them out, but it's definitely good. Alright, what else we got? This one looks like it might have like a glitch in it. Whoa. Actually, I'm not too sure. Yeah, like this little edge. I wonder if that's like a glitch or... I don't know. It's just part of an effect or something. This is also cool. I wonder if these are like Dr. X patches, because I know he was trying to upload a couple. I know a few of them are. At some point in time I'm going to put like attribution into here so we can actually like see whose patches they are, but alright, I think there's like 2 or 3 more. I'm going for it. Maybe I should download them before the stream and then just play around with them once the stream starts. This is slightly tedious. Yeah, so like the tags are like totally broken right now for the patches. Like if you tag it with something, the tag's not gonna... Yeah, for instance, like you see this one's tagged with fave. If I tap on that, the whole thing's gonna crash. So yeah, it's kind of fucked. This is cool. All right, 2 more I think. Oh, 3 more. Hyperflux one. Yeah. I really like this. This is really cool. Could use some audio activity, but it is pretty great how it is. Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, once we actually get the names in there, it sounds like a good way to do it. I really need to like basically redo the whole tagging and library system because there's a real problem with just like the sheer volume of content that's available. Like I need a better way of like organizing everything. I'll figure that out eventually though. Yeah. Really looking forward to this one. Yeah, this is nice. Yeah, there's a. I like the transitions a lot too. There's still like one place where it's like choppy when you go to transition. It's like modulation, so it can't do like smooth transitions if there's like modulation on or off. And at some point in time, I'm definitely gonna fix that, and it'll be totally smooth transitions everywhere. That and instrument switching isn't smooth yet, but I think that's like sorted out eventually. All right, last one. And then we're gonna do something fun. Oh, this is cool. This is really nice and audio reactive. Alright, we'll be back in like 10 seconds. Yeah, this is great. I genuinely love to see people make cool stuff with this thing. Speaking of cool stuff though, check this out. So late last night, I came up with an idea, and early this morning, I turned it into a new instrument. So I barely played around with it yet, but we've got a new instrument here. It's gonna come out eventually. It's super fucking half-baked at the moment. It's pretty similar to the fractal instrument, but it does a fundamentally different way of like composing things. It's really slow because it hasn't been optimized, but it's definitely really interesting. You can make some really cool stuff, so we're gonna mess around with it right now. I haven't really played around with like audio activity on it or integrating like video into it. I really played around with it too much, just enough to see that it was cool. I mean, it's definitely doing some things that you can't really do with the other instruments. Check this out. It's sort of like Hyperflux in a way that it can get really like gnarly and shit, but it's got a lot more like sharp lines, so it's sort of like the opposite of Hyperflux in a way, hence the name for the stream. What's up? Welcome to the stream. I'm playing around with some shit I came up with this morning. We'll release it eventually. It's going to take a little while. This one's a lot more half-baked than some of the other instruments, but still pretty stoked with how it turned out so far. Alright, let's actually go in here and actually let's reset all this stuff first. And let's go in here and play around with this. Alright, instead of... Actually, let's just change the image. We're going to add a stripe here too. Let's see if we can actually do that in an interesting way. messing around with the alpha. I just want to mess around with the color for the stripe. So this is going to be positive wave. Come on. There's way too many waves in here. Didn't do what I wanted at all. Let's add some audio activity. Okay. I genuinely have no idea what I'm doing here, but we'll eventually get to somewhere cool, I promise. May also not be working right, but it's working right enough. Here. It's not really doing much. Let's choose this one. I know, I think it's pretty rad. Get rid of the stripe. It's not really doing what I want it to do. Not really sure why. Working something. Was cool. Let's change it from border to it's a good question. I'm pretty sure it would just crash, or it would say fail to load, something like that. There's like a bunch of software on here, where like all of the code for the new instrument won't share with the actual patch itself. What am I even doing? Let's try like something else. So it's being textured with the final output of the system, which is not really doing anything useful. Alright. Let's texture it with, no, let's use the FFT texture. Right as the audio cuts out. This is weird. This is cool. This is very Hyperflux-like. Jerkiness. Whoa. Yeah, it's gotta be on my end. Yeah, I need to look into that. I think that's gotta be a bug. I will change it to something else. How about we throw in some orbs? I'm upset by the distinct lack of orb in that. Okay, this is promising. Let's just try lasers. There's no lasers either. It's not even like remotely working like I want it to. Laser triangles. I think this instrument needs a little more work. And also not to be slow as balls. Wow, this is really slow. Let's add some symmetry. Let's get rid of the symmetry and see what happens. I think I need to re-add some like texture offset controls. Let's blend. Okay, there's also this. Let's change this to sine wave inverse half. Or no, triangle wave inverse half. We're gonna set up the wave visualizer. We're gonna use the AB texture and then put some solid color in with the wave visualizer. Where the fuck is AB texture? Went right by it. We're gonna use one of the generative textures. Let's try one of the weird ones. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. So it's a work in progress name. Progress. Potential, but it's not there yet. Hey, this is cool. Change the color palette. Use the turbo palette. No, I'm gonna use like. Never mind. Use. Alright, using this palette. Are we? I hate this color palette. Alright, we can work with that. Alright, instead of square, let's go to square 2. I have absolutely no idea what the difference is. It's quite different. Let's change it to some different blend mode. Okay, let's turn this thing on. Alright, it is clearly broken. I need to unbreak it. There's something. Where is it and why is everything busted? Alright. Okay, let's go to hexagonal frame. Alright. Where this is headed. Alright, I need to change the texture to something. about this one. No, I didn't describe it. It's like, it's actually a little bit difficult to describe. It's much more like a kaleidoscope, like an actual one with mirrors, than like Fractal, even though it does have a little kaleidoscoping module in it. It's a fundamentally different way of doing the recursion, which is kind of difficult to explain without like drawing some diagrams and shit. So I'm just gonna leave it at that for now. And it's all like super subject to change because it's like I gotta find where like the good spots are and like figure out exactly how to expose that in the UI. Cause every once in a while it looks cool, but mostly this is just kind of garbage. Yeah, you can key out pretty much anything. There's all kinds of effects and mixers on there, and you can use like Luma keying and stuff like that. Like for instance, in here, I think there's an effect. No, wait, there's an effect in. Yeah, so actually, wait a second. Let's like reset this. Let's see if we can actually do it. All right, let's turn on video. When is this actually gonna work? Video, yeah, there I am. All right, and then you go into the module. Then this function turns some color into transparency. And you click on that. And I think this should work. And then this should be keying out white. You want to key out black. Then this is actually gonna work. It might not work in this instrument, but it definitely works in general. And it's not, I don't think it's gonna work in this instrument. But there's also there's also an effect that does this too. But I'm hell-bent on getting this to do something cool. Alright, no video texture. How about we use an orb? There's no fucking orb, man. I think the orb's like too much in the middle for this thing or something. Alright, orb 1. Alright, we're reduced to solid textures. Which isn't terrible. Alright, we're gonna play around with this. What can we get out of here? That is hideous. Spirals that I'm seeing. Whoa. Now it's freaking out. Yeah, I'm gonna fix these controls. They're definitely way choppier than I think they're supposed to be. Alright, let's change this to white. That didn't work like at all. Huh. That's cool. Alright, it might be close to having maxed out. I come up with this thing. It's definitely spent 2 hours on it this morning. I have no idea what the hell I'm gonna do with it. I'm gonna do something. But it really does seem to need some work. This is cool. They definitely do cool stuff. Stuff is, and I think it's all kind of like broken everywhere too. It's just definitely not quite working the way that I would expect it to. It's just completely randomized. Load an audio reactive modulation pattern. Sure, that's reasonable. And we'll just randomize this thing. That's nice enough. Whoa, that is awesome. I wonder if I can animate that. Oh, it's just a modulation pattern, huh? Alright, let's go in there. I can animate that. I'm just gonna put the phase on LFO, which is this guy. Oh, it already is, huh? Oh, it's just slow as balls. Let's make it faster. What am I even doing? Let's go in here and randomize the stripe. Come on. Pretty gnarly. Alright, what's the next thing? Let's change from color dodge to difference. Explosion. Oh, color dodge is cool. Stop it. I don't know what I did, but I don't like it. Maybe some music was cutting out. Let's change color palette. Yeah, next stream, I think. Or after I'm done playing with this. Best way to do that is to use the XYZ source. This is awesome. Actually, you know what? You can use this generative texture thing to make some straight visuals. Alright, what am I doing? I don't really know. Take it. Turn off the kaleidoscope and turn it to something else. And then at least turn down this. This is also pretty rad. Fuck it, random. Or set the color back to something normal-ish. And we'll go in here. I'm almost done. Then I'll show how to do some stuff with lines and geometric shapes. It's not too hard. Cool. Also cool. What happens? Yeah. All right. Let's go. I need some orb. Cat. Oh, got some eyeballs. All right. Anyways, I am done with this. Let's go into cat party. So basic geometric stuff. The place to do all that is to start the modulation system. So you can pretty easily make geometrical patterns here. Let's just make some lines. Go into channel 1. For the guide, we'll do linear. So this is just going to be some bars. If you want like actual like distinct lines, go to square wave. So then you just get an on and off pattern. You can change like the pulse width, so you can get some thin lines here. All right. Then you can change the frequency of the lines with this. You can rotate them here. All right, so we have some lines. Let's make some more lines. If you don't want it to be entirely on and off, you can use like this to increase the black level. You can also move them around or like animate them with this. Let's add some animation. Actually, yeah, let's just do that. It's too fast. And actually, we don't want to animate this one. Let's actually stop that. Let's animate like this. And this is gonna make them kind of rotate and zoom a bit. We'll change the speed, slow them down. All right, so we have some lines here. So there's one basic pattern. Go into here, we'll create another pattern of lines. So we'll use linear again. Instead of the square wave, which looks like that, we'll use a step wave, which gives us that kind of effect. All right. And again, we will rotate. Actually, no, let's keep this one just left and right. Let's animate the phase, which will just make it kind of scroll left and right. Slowly. Alright, so we have two basic geometrical patterns here. And we'll create some more. Let's add some like squares. So we'll start with W square. So now we have a square based pattern. Actually no, we want the inside. Actually wait, there's actually even stripes here. Or it's a different type of stripe. I need actually the inverse of the square. Alright, anyways. We're gonna go here. We're gonna do a square wave. So now we just have a pattern of on and off. We can invert it by pushing the first button. So now we just have it some square with a border around it. Change the frequency. I should make some of these patterns where it's possible to just have like a straight up square in the middle without something on the outside. You can rotate it. Now we have three square line-based patterns. There's like a lot of things you can do with them. Actually, let's make this on an LFO. Let's just make it spin. It's just too fast. Still too fast. And let's make it go the opposite way. Alright, so now we have some of these things right here. So now what can we do? We can go into the cat module. You can either just directly use them by pointing at these modulation textures. And now we have those lines pass through a rainbow effect. Now we have those stripes pass through a rainbow effect. Now we have the square pass through a rainbow effect, although because it's just solid colors, it's not really going to do too much. So let's start with these lines. Well, we can actually do a couple things. Let's instead of this, let's go to the AB texture. And we'll use modulation pattern 1 for A. Modulation pattern 2. For B. So now we have a blend between these two. You can change the blend mode, so how they're composed. And right now it's still all going through the rainbow effect, so it still looks kind of garbage. We're probably going to fix that in a minute. Alright, this isn't terrible. So let's go into the party module. So we only really created a black and white pattern because all those modulation patterns are black and white. But yeah, we can colorize that with the effects. I think there's like a palletizing effect. How? There we go. Now we've got some colorized lines and stripes. Now, one of my favorite things to do is to add feedback. So we can go into the mixer. Alright. And we can mix in some of the output texture. It's already selected. So we're going to increase the mix. And it's not working. Oh, I have to turn the effect on. Because right now effect 2 amount is 0. So we'll add maximum effect, but the mix is down, so it's not doing anything. So we're going to go into the mixer. We're going to increase the mix, and now we start getting more copies of the lines. Maybe you don't want that. Who knows? But you can do something like you can control the mix by like the third modulation pattern, see what happens. And now like the square is controlling how much, or controlling the regions where the feedback happens. See where that square is solid, there's no feedback, and where it's not solid, there is feedback. Let's put this on like a scroll wave. We're gonna get something glitchy. Let's make it faster. Even faster. Put that to like yeah, alright, so I want to make the colors a little bit less homogeneous. We will use the hyper effect to do that. I think the hyper effect is off. I'm going to turn it on. Chromatic aberration, but that's not really going to do anything. What can we even do? Edge detection? Nah. Yeah, no hyper effect, never mind. There's a bunch of parameters in here where you control like colors and stuff, so let's modulate the red level by something. There we go. Now we got some more colors. See, that wasn't hard. You have to know what you're doing, but there's a million different things you can do with like these modulation patterns. You can use it to basically create patterns and shapes like we just did. You can use it, yeah, as modulation sources. Let's go back into here. Let's try some weird shit. No. Isn't doing anything interesting. I guess we're not doing that.
Would you say yes?
Nope. Alright, so this is the pattern we started with. Let's try to make something else. Or so yeah, there's a... Yeah, so Rose LFOs are... It's some stuff I'm going to get rid of eventually. So some of the parameters on the synth are one-dimensional. The vast majority of them are. Some of them are two-dimensional, which just mean that they're points. So the reason I do that is because these two-dimensional parameters can encapsulate both a zoom and a rotation at the same time. And a Rose curve is basically just an LFO that moves a point around in space, and that ends up controlling both zoom and rotation at the same time. It's just a name for like a parametric curve that you can find on Wikipedia. So it's literally some math. You can look up the exact formula if you want, but it's not really super useful to understand. It's basically one of the things where I suggest you just kind of play around with it. But yeah, so if you go to like they're literally just coefficients in like equations, and there might be some documentation, like if you hold down on something or other, or in the manual, if you want to actually see the formulas. But yeah, so XPalette, we're gonna do that instead. All right. We're gonna use modulation force 2 as an index into a palette. There we go. And stop previewing. Now we got something different. Or we can use XYZ, which lets us compose these three modulation patterns in RGB space or a different color space. Let's try that. This is the HSV color space. Actually, RGB color space is better. And then you can go back into the modulation system and then start like blending modulation patterns together. So you can switch this to like modulation pattern 2, for instance. You can change the mix. And then modulation pattern 1 is now going to incorporate some of modulation pattern 2 with it. And you can go into modulation pattern 2 and add feedback by blending modulation pattern 2 into itself. But you need to offset it a little bit if you're going to do that, or else just get a copy of the exact same thing, blend it in with itself. There you go. Now we have feedback. I think you can also like, yeah, let's just do that. I don't know, let's fuck around some more. Deform. This thing's all about stripes. Basically just slices the image into like horizontal stripes, and right now it's using the audio to offset the stripes. I'm gonna turn it down a little bit. Fewer stripes, more stripes. What am I talking about? I'm gonna make it horizontal. Alright, now we're going to do something with the hyper effect. Or we can change the palette. We've been on this one for a while. What do we even do here? You can't hook them up to knobs at the moment, but you can definitely go in there and like change them. I'll show you in a second. So you can hit shift and see that list of active LFOs. So we got a scroll wave right here. And yeah, you can just like change that, or that's it. But it's not hooked up to knobs. I'll get that set up at some point in time, and then yes, that'll happen. But yeah, so we got some stripes, kind of glitchy. Hope this is sufficient for, what was it? It was tune. Let me turn the light on. Is there a reason to do that? No. Hyper effects. That's some aberration. Yeah, I think this is awesome. I'm gonna zoom this guy in a little bit. Oh, wait, that's being controlled by yeah, it's a good idea. I'll do that. It's this guy there. Zoom in. Or out. Who knows? Cool, yeah. Sharing it right now. And then I think that's probably the end of the stream for today. Alright, just gotta save it. Cat Party 9, sure. Yeah, my pleasure. You guys have any more questions? Let me know. If not, I'll see you guys next week. Yeah, so you can absolutely do that. Here, I'll show you how to do that real quick. Let's just load the default patch. Alright, then you go into the seed module, the texturizer. We're going to choose a texture that has some black, or one that has some white. Actually, I know this one's got a ton of white, so we'll use that. Alright, and we can make the white transparent with an effect. So we go in here. First of all, we turn the effect on, and then there is a RGB key effect. All right, and that works exactly how you would expect. It matches the RGB and makes it transparent. So right now we're matching white. So first of all, yeah, we're matching white. We got a threshold. We can turn the threshold down. See the white turning transparent. Decrease the softness. Be white, transparent. Doesn't perfectly work, but there's some white like inside of the thing. But hopefully you get the idea. Pretty straightforward. You can do that with video too. You do that by loading a video texture. And then going into it, and then there's this alpha function which basically chooses a color to make it transparent. See, now it's got me, but it's matching the white of my walls and my background and making that transparent. So you can thank Dr. Rec for this too. It's definitely his suggestion. All right, cool. Yeah, I will see you guys next weekend. All right, have a good one.